In the history of Rangers Football Club, there have been many wonderful players, but one who will be remembered as a genius on the park was the irrepressible Jim Baxter. He became a football king, and his palace was Ibrox. His kingdom was Scotland. In this video, we tell the story of arguably Scotland's greatest player. In 1995, we took Jim back to his home village of Hill of Beath to tell his story. In April 2001, we spoke to him in his adopted home of Glasgow, where he reflected on his incredible life. 21st of June 1960 was a turning point for Jim and Rangers. That day he left Raith Rovers for a record £17,500 and became a Rangers legend. When manager Scott Simon saw Jim play for Raith Rovers in their defeat of Rangers at Ibrox, he knew exactly what to do.
He says, "Boss, you got to tell me what game made you sign for? What made you sign for Rangers? Made you think I could make it?" He says, "What made you sign for Rangers?" He says, "See the game when you played against Ibrox." He says, "At Ibrox." He says,
For Raith Rovers.
For Raith Rovers, he beat us 3-2. He says, "I saw this skinny guy coming out. When I saw you coming out here," he says, "playing against Rangers, and we had a full house that day." He says, "There were 70,000 at Ibrox that day." He says, "And you were, I'm saying it myself, I shouldn't be saying it to you, but I'm saying it to you, you were head and shoulders about everybody." He says, "You were only strong through the game." He says, "I see, I must have that boy." He says, and that was what made me say, "I must sign that boy." He says, that was the signing on Jim Baxter of Rangers.
It wasn't only Jim's great skills that made him an idol for the Ibrox fans, but also his attitude. He was always a big game player, and his first Scottish Cup final gave him the chance to prove it.
Brightland. Baxter rushing alongside him, a through ball towards Kerrigan, he topples, but Shearer is there and there's no foul. Caldo taking the throw to Wilson. Wilson being tackled by Campbell. And he comes away with the ball, he lets it run back again, Caldo. Out comes Williamson, the ball spinning clear, a header by Henderson. It's Macmillan, number 8. Pass on the inside of the fullback, Wilson having plenty of trouble here. Brand turns it away to the far side, a header, headed away by Clooney. A scramble on the goal line, finally Clooney kicks it away. What a set to. Exactly half an hour played in the first half. What tremendous excitement there has been. Henderson spotting along the goal line. Baxter. Again, it's Clooney who blocks it. What a magnificent defender Clooney is today. While certainly to date one could say that Rangers are very, very unlucky not to be comfortably ahead. However, that's football. Baxter as Wilson. Baxter again, he returns it to the left winger. Cross goal, again it's Clooney who lobs it out of play, a corner kick. In comes Baxter from the corner, he turns it back again to Wilson. Wilson lining up for a shot, which he has, it's Fernie who blocks it. Headed away by Shearer. Davis to Macmillan. Davis running on for the return pass, Macmillan weaving and bobbing, a shot punched over the bar. Brand, a nice flick to Miller, to Wilson. Well, this should open up the defence, and the ball is in the net. The scorer, I think, Wilson. Brand is holding up his arms, but I think the credit must go to Wilson. Brand was on the goal line there, sticking out a foot, but well, it's a toss-up, who's to get it, but I would say it was Wilson. 5 minutes to go until half-time. Rangers 1 up against St Mirren. Combined effort there by Wilson and Ralph Brand. Davis charging forward strongly, lining up for a shot. He turns away, gives it back to Macmillan. Wilson. Beautiful goal by Wilson. No wonder Davy Wilson jumping for joy.
Goal scorers always get the glory, but Baxter transformed Rangers. He became the playmaker, and even his teammates admitted that he was the man who made Rangers tick.
You couldn't hide the guy's skill. And he was so uplifting every morning he came into training. He never felt like training. Never did he feel like training. It was natural ability that Baxter had. Some of us had to work hard at the game. Baxter never had to work hard. He never did work hard at the game. But when he was on that park, he worked hard there.
Mind you, early in his career, Jim was just another player. When he was called up to play for the Scotland under-23 team, his mother bought him a new green suit. But when he met up with the big city players in their finery, Jim made himself a promise.
All the Glasgow boys there, Billy Stevenson, wee Davy Wilson, the Edinburgh boys, George Thompson, these boys, we all like young and all well dressed. And I'm sitting there like a real dummy. I'm not kidding you. Nobody knew me. No, I could have been sitting there bollock naked, nobody would have known me. I'm not kidding you. I was absolutely, I'm talking about being right out of my depth. Nobody knew me at all. And I see, this will never happen to me again, I'll tell you that.
Was that the moment you decided I'm going to be something special?
I see, hey, I'm going to be something a bit special here, to hell with this. And a dummy walking about here. And that made my mind up. I was going to be not so much cheeky, but right, get my face right in front of the potties.
Jim got his wish. In the 60s, he and his model wife, the former Jean Ferguson, were photographed everywhere they went, leading the lifestyles of superstars. But on the football field, Jim put aside the tabloids and got down to work, especially against Celtic.
There's Murdoch playing inside right for Celtic. Baxter, the left half of Rangers. Price and Brand to Miller. That's what to do with it. Farrand with him. Brand of Rangers to Calder, his left back. Through to Miller. Oh, Happy was skidding, but he's got it. McNeil doing a little bit of pushing on the blind side. No, the referee saw it. I thought he was badly placed. Baxter. Eight minutes gone. Brand. And Kennedy gives away the first corner. Yes, that's that right, Scott, taking the first corner. Davis has it. And it's a goal, yes. That's the Celtic defender on the way, but it's Davis who opens the scoring. 19 minutes, the first half gone. Oh, I thought Murdoch used an arm just now. Referee McKenzie doesn't. Baxter's with him and gets it to Gregg. Baxter. Somehow they seem to be great wide open spaces. Brand running into one. Oh no, the ball was just too far ahead of him, and Happy came out very bravely. Brogan to Kennedy. Brogan. As I said already, he's Celtic's most dangerous forward. Baxter takes it. Baxter. Farrand coming over. Scott. Farrand still coming on. Baxter to Wilson. He's outside left. Brand. And it must be, yes, it is. Miller has scored. Neil clearing. Baxter. Brand. Wilson. Here's Gregg coming in. On to Brand. Gregg again. It's a goal. And that makes it 3. Inside forward Gregg has made it Rangers 3, Celtic 0 after 24 minutes of the second half. Rangers moving up into attack. There's Davis, the right half. Celtic backpedaling for all their worth. Davis coming right in. And Miller, the start. There's a chance for Wilson, and it's goal.
The first thing that hit you with Jimmy Baxter was the arrogance he had and the complete confidence he had in his own ability. I mean, Jim felt he could have played against any team, any player in the world. And a lot of people say, how would Jim Baxter play? How would he go on if he was playing today? Jim Baxter could have played at any time because he had one thing, which is you've got to have in football, and that's outstanding ability.
That ability helped make Rangers almost invincible. They met their old rivals again that year in the Scottish Cup final. If they won, it would complete a worthy double.
134,000 here. Fiercely partisan crowd. And Baxter, the left half, through to Wilson. He's outside left. And Brand. If anybody gets a quick goal here, it can make all the difference. And there's Price, one of the coolest men in the field. And here's where the duel's going to be. McKinnon and Hughes. It's proven. This is the thing, keeping the ball moving, making it work. Brand. Well, he was lucky to get that one back again. Brand, Miller, to Henderson, and all the Celtic defence in the wrong place. And Brand scores! Well, if you can't see that goal, it's because you've got nothing but Rangers supporters standing here. And with 3 minutes to half-time, that neat little bit of football puts Rangers ahead by 1-0. Mackay clearing. Murdoch coming through, and here's Hughes. Hughes should score. No, but Murdoch does. Henderson taking the corner. Miller, and here's Baxter. And Happy's there, and Brand misses.
The Rangers players knew they should have won the match, and on the following Wednesday in the replay they were determined to finish the job. But Baxter decided that before such an important game he would prepare in his own, well, rather special way.
9 o'clock in the morning I gets home. I'm at a gambling school all night, gambling. And I won 3,000 quid gambling.
Before the game?
Before the game. Every time the ball come to me, I saw 3 grand in front of my eyes. That's straight up. Ball was coming. So what angle it was coming for, I was just drawing it down right, left and centre. 3-0 we beat them. And that was the best game I'd ever played against Celtic, that game.
So this became your preparation for every given game, obviously.
Not really, but I wish I tell you one thing. It worked that night anyway, I'll tell you that.
On the toss, so it's Rangers to kick off in this cup final replay at Hampden. Straight away, a foul given against Chalmers of Celtic. Baxter going to take the kick. Crowd of approaching 130,000 here at Hampden. The atmosphere just right for an exciting, tense cup final match. Touch on to Miller. Miller will pass to Henderson. Brand scores.
I mean, the guy was remarkable because we may as well be straight and honest about it. The guy hardly ever trained. He went through the motions. And he turned up on a Saturday at times, you know, and you were wondering where he'd been on a Friday night. But the guy went out there and still turned it on.
Rolling it towards Craig. Baxter. Wilson. Miller. They will pass from Miller to Wilson. Miller. Brand, a shot on the corner, the ball into the net. An incredible goal by Ralph Brand.
On the Wednesday evening, it was no contest. It was no contest. We stopped playing at 3-0.
They shouldn't have turned up the Wednesday. Well, I don't think they did turn up.
I was captain of the Rangers at that time. And when you got presented with a cup from the president of the Scottish SFA. And I was very, very lucky. It was Bob Kelly, the chairman of Celtic, you know. So we won twice, taking the cup off him by beating the team.
By now, Jim Baxter was a superstar in football, recognised wherever he went. It was a far cry from his humble beginnings in the small village of Hill of Beath in Fife, where Jim had worked as a coal miner in Fordell Colliery. Like all boys, he played football in his school playground, but even he couldn't imagine the career and the fame that the great game would bring. Jim, is it just the way you remember it to be?
There were no birds playing the other day, Chick. I think if that had been better even.
All that was to come later. We're talking here about the beginnings.
This was our second home, sort of style.
So you learned the magic on the concrete.
Well, you
surface.
can see it there. There were, at that time, there would be twice that. So that's where the skills came from, as you would say. The dribble. You're playing 40 aside.
You never,
That's where it happened.
you never passed the ball then in these days, did you? Because you wanted too many touches. You just...
They're not very passable, eh?
What about the village, Jim, itself? What do you remember?
The village. Well, it's a great wee village. It's lovely, but the time when I was that age, this was all miners' rows, and it was really, I mean, it was something out of Dickens, as you would think, you know, at that time. But it was great to grow up in as a kid. That was all you had, a ball. There were no computers and that in that days. That was it. You come home from school, and then you were back at school playing the playground again. If the bigger boys were playing over in the park, which I had over there, the juniors playing at the moment.
There was just nothing else for you to do as a kid.
Nothing else. We had nothing. We had no money or anything at that time, you know. So it was just football, football, football. Now, this village alone, they've had, I think it's a population of about 1,500 or something like that. It's never been any more than that. They've had 2 Scottish captains out here. Myself and Willie Cunningham that played for Preston or Send. Willie's a local boy. And I could go through Tommy MacDonald that played with Hibs and Wolves. My cousin wee Bobby Simpson played with Rangers. Willie Kelly played with Blackburn. Walter Kelly's brother played with Bury. John Knox, wee Knox, he played with Cowdenbeath. Okay, I could go through them all. They were marvellous. For 1,500 people in the village, all these people that went senior football.
Do you think any of these young lads?
Well, you never know. There could be something that'll come out there. If they're nothing, if they're not a footballer, or possibly a computer whiz kid or something.
The ability of the soon-to-be local hero was soon recognised, and he came to the attention of Willie Butcherd, the secretary of Crossgate's Primrose. Now, Willie may not have been able to pay today's wages, but he did have a secret weapon that would entice new signings.
You used to get 7 a tanner playing for Crossgates, and $1 if I played. If I didn't play, I got...
$1 was 5 shillings, it's 25
was
pence.
25 pence. If I played, if I didn't play, I got $1. If I played, I got 76.
Right.
The best one if you
So that
played.
was 37.5 pence if you played and 25 pence.
25 pence. I didn't play, and if you played, which was the best thing about not just playing, you got a pie, and the Wilson's pies were brilliant.
So do you remember the first time you ever saw Jim Baxter playing?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Played all here with Hull Beast Boys Club. Sighting on after the match, him and Willie Denham.
So the first time you saw him play, you had no doubts this guy was a bit special.
You want to ken who I signed him, mate? Because he could trap and pass the ball accurately, which very few players could do now.
Was it all he could do? Could he do a wee bit more than that, perhaps?
Aye.
So, presumably in these days, what year was this?
1955.
55, 56,
So you would be giving him a massive...
He was 15-year-old.
15-year-old, so he wouldn't be getting a massive signing-on fee like the rest of your players get here.
No, I got £2.10.
£2.10. I'm waiting for it yet. It must be worth about £2,000 in, what do you call it, interest now.
I presume there were some guys who, when they saw the then slim Jim, the silky midfield players, wanted to have a go at him.
Yeah, but I put him at outside left to keep him out of trouble.
Is that what you were, Jim, a flying left winger here?
No, I was always a sort of midfield player, but this man had their great ideas. These secretaries get great ideas, you know. And I remember we were playing Trinent one day, and the Scottish Cup, and Butcher decided in his wisdom, Jim, it's too hurly-burly in the middle of the park for you. I'm putting you outside in the wing, outside left. And I went outside left, and I saw this right back I was playing against. And he made Bobby Shearer look like a choir boy. In a period size was bigger than my body. I said, thanks, Butch, for putting me out to pasture.
That's right.
This is clearly the kind of place that Jim, when he was at the height of his career, came back and was brought down to earth for. There was no airs and graces, was there?
No.
There's one thing that if you get big-headed, is to come back to a place like this. Yeah, definitely. I remember coming back, and it's only a couple of years ago. I was standing in the bookies of all places. It must me being a bookie. I got enticed into a bookies.
Can't believe that.
And this guy come up to me and, hello John, how you doing? Oh, hello Baxter, how you doing? Ma, you've not have put the beef on. And I says, how you doing? He says, you know ken me? I says, no, I don't. He says, you must ken me, I play in the same school team as you. I says, for a start, you're telling me lies there. I says, you never played in the team. He says, no, sometimes I got a game. He says, I'm, what was Chris's name? I'm Tamogo, eh? I says, that still doesn't ring a bell. He says, well, I come from Broad Street in Holloway in Cowdenbeath. He says, what you doing? This time I was getting a bit fed up with him, he's pissed me off a bit. So I says, I'm not doing nothing now, actually. He says, by Christ, wait a somebody said, you're putting some beef on. You must be doing it. I says, well, I'll tell you what it is exactly. On a Monday, and a Tuesday, and a Wednesday, I do nothing. And a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday, I do F all. He says, any jobs gone?
The Polishman now.
I'm looking for a job like that. So I'm trying to be the right guy. You get right off the top of the head, you come away with that, any job. How can you be big-headed and get placed in a place like this?
Despite the heady mix of 37.5 pence per game and free pies, Jim was destined for greater things. In 1957, Raith Rovers showed their interest, but Jim, as always, was looking for a deal.
I was getting £5 a week down the pit. Then Raith Rovers come up for me. And by this time I'd got a wee bit wiser again. And I got £250 to sign on. Plus, this is a cracker, a washing machine for my mother.
Andy Lee was an older player at Raith in Jim's day, and he quickly realised that Jim's talent suited the left side, but the manager disagreed.
He played you at right half and kept me at left half. And you were a natural left-sided player. And when it came at half-time, we were walking along the corridor at Dumfries. And I mentioned it to you, to switch, to change. So anyhow, we're going in the stripping box and we're changing the jerseys, remember?
Right, it's coming back to me.
Number 5 and then number 6. And I heard him says, what are you doing, Lee, you know? I says, I'm changing with the boy. The boy's not happy on the right-hand side of the park. No, you'll stay there. So anyhow, I gave you the word when we're walking along the corridor. Just give it a couple of minutes and I'll give you a shout. So about 5 minutes, you know, into the second half, I gave you a shout. And you're brilliant, you know, you're back in the position you needed.
That's right.
And 1-3-1. And when we come off the park, the manager,
Albert
Hertzman, he says, you're a fly. I wouldn't like to mention what he cried me. I said, you got the points. And that was it.
Slim Jim had found his true position in which he flourished. After the match at Ibrox in which he scored, securing a 3-2 victory, the Raith players justifiably felt that they deserved a bonus.
We went to the Kenilworth Hotel. I remember it. He gets up there and McNaught said, what about that bonus bet? But just go into the bar and have a drink and I'll just see my directors now and I'll come in, but I'm sure it'll be all right. And at that time, I always remember, you got high tea. And then you go on the train back to Fife. And Bert come in. I've fixed that up with the board. You've got your extra bonus. Never mind the high tea, just go a la carte. Do you remember that? I'm sitting there, and Charlie, I didn't know what a la carte meant. I know that much. Another half a dozen of that wouldn't know what it meant.
That's true.
I thought it was a dug at Sheffield or something like that.
That was the game that persuaded Rangers boss Scott Simon to sign Jim, and he did so in June 1960. Raith used the money to buy their first floodlights.
I've always said that one of the greatest players that I ever played with, whether we were Rangers or international team, Jimmy Baxter has to come into that category. Particularly, I remember it so well because I came into a great Rangers team of which Jim was a leading light in it. His individual brilliance could change a game.
In 1963, Rangers were drawn against the fabulous Real Madrid, whose side included the legendary Puskas, Di Stefano and Hento, but Baxter was never impressed by reputations.
Baxter, this elegant footballer. And 1-2. Greg, there's Di Stefano after him. Still Greg out to Henderson. Corner. Rangers using their wingman extraordinarily well.
You're talking about ability. I mean, that is absolutely magnificent. But I remember Stevie Chalmers talking about him, seeing the confidence side of it. They were playing Brazil at Hampden Park, and Stevie says, I'm stripping beside him. He says, and it was raining outside, he says, and we're looking, he says, and he's looking in his boot bag, wondering what he wearing and whatnot, he says. So he brought out this pair of, it was just like a pair of slip-ons, they're only halfway laced up, and he's pulling, he says, Jimmy, he says, it's pouring a rain out there, he says, it's only Brazil we're playing, son, you know, I mean, that was him all the time.
Greg. To Forrest. McLean going forward quickly. Up to Henderson. A young Forrest again. Oh, a beautiful shot. It's a corner. It's a corner kick. Wilson with the corner. A goal! Right in the post. Hit the post. Well, that was Brand. Now, Hento. Puskas. Baxter.
You don't get many players in football who used to do what Jim would do in a match. Jim would demand the ball from his own goalkeeper 10 yards from his own goals. And it wouldn't matter if there was players round about him or anything else, he would just want the ball, because he had that much confidence in the ability. And I remember one game, and there'll be no footage obviously to see this, but it was a trial match between Scotland and what they termed the Scottish League. And we played out here at Ibrox actually. And whereby we were playing for the Scottish team, there was a guy playing in the Scottish League team who should have been trying to impress the selectors on his own ability, but all he did was go out and try and man-mark Jimmy Baxter out the game, which was impossible. And I remember Jimmy saying to one of the Daily Record photographers at half-time coming off the park, you better take a picture of this guy with this strip on, because it's the only time he's going to be wearing it. And that was the kind of confidence that Jimmy had.
And it's Sidra out to Ruth. Now McLean. Out to Henderson. Forrest. That's Baxter. Baxter moving up so smartly for that return. There's a foul by Ruiz. Everybody back for the Real team now except Puskas. Everybody up for Rangers. Shearer takes the free kick. Up goes Proven. Ever cool Santa Maria.
Bxter to Forrest, the centre forward. They're the two centres together. Forrest. Oh, what a shot! Good save, great shot. That's a corner for Rangers.
Despite intense pressure, Rangers lost 1-0 after a quick break gave Hento the winner. But Scott Simon had brought together a team of many talents and personalities, although dealing with Jai B wasn't always that easy.
I think they possibly took years off of Scott Simon's life, but Scott Simon idolised him. They thought it was marvellous, and I think Jim gave him a hard time because he used to knock the manager's door down every 2 or 3 weeks looking for more money.
The fans probably agreed that he deserved the big wages, especially when it came to games against Celtic. In the Glasgow derbies, Jim never disappointed the loyal supporters.
Hughes taking the throw, Chalmers coming in, Divers onto Johnson. Well, Johnston, but Baxter takes it, the chance is gone. It's Murdoch, Gregg to Baxter. Gregg through to Miller. Miller, Brand on to Henderson. Brand. That was a free kick. Well, it's as near the 18-yard line as makes no difference. Mr. Syme saying a little bit further out. 18 minutes gone. Henderson taking this free kick. And Brand trying to poke it in. And Miller has scored. Miller has scored after 18 minutes of the second half to make it Rangers 1, Celtic 0.
They were running riot, they were lifting everything, you know, and they were actually going to, you weren't looking forward, you didn't want to know about it going to Ibrox. And I remember, it was late on in the game, I think we were getting a drubbing again, you know, that's when they were beating us quite regular, you know. And I got into a situation where there was Jim, Ralph Brand, I think it was Davy Wilson, and they were taking they were knocking it between them. And there was I was just a young laddie, you know, and it was a piggy in the middle, and I was fuming. I was trying to get this ball off him, I couldn't. And I says, I'll get you back. They were just laughing.
Oh, I tell you what, he didn't miss us. The unfortunate thing for us, of course, was in those days they were a better side. I mean, they had a real good side at that time. I mean, apart from Jimmy, they had good players everywhere, and they invariably held the upper hand.
It may seem curious to some today, but Jim became friendly with Celtic players Bill McNeill and Pat Crerand, who in the early 60s were at the top of their careers. The trio lived life to the full.
It really didn't seem important in those days, whether you were an old firm player or otherwise. We just became a friend. I think all really arose from the fact that when he came to Glasgow, he obviously didn't know that many people, and for whatever reason, he got involved in myself, Mike Jackson, Paddy Crerand, and I think he was happy in our company at times than he was in the Rangers players. Maybe they'd seen enough of him during the day, maybe it was only the weekend that he tortured us.
But when Jim pulled on the blue jersey and crossed the white line, all friendships were forgotten.
Celtic's ball. There's Kennedy. Hughes. Yeah. McNeill gets it out to Brogan. It's a breakaway like this that might just bring a goal. McKinnon. That's all right, Brogan taking this throw to Johnston. Johnston moved inside very intelligently just now. And that's a good one. McKinnon just getting it away to Brand. Here's Shearer to Forrest. Henderson. Henderson to Forrest. Baxter with Johnston. Henderson takes it. Henderson. It's amazing the acceleration these wee fellas have. Young to Brogan. On to Kennedy. Baxter. Brand with Young. Johnston. Johnston. Bad one. Baxter. quickly, but who can he give it to? Brand. Baxter. Forrest. Inside forward, Brand. McMillan backing up to Forrest. And it's Murdoch with Fallon. Left half Baxter to Wilson. Brand. Johnston on to Chalmers. To Divers. Shearer. Shearer playing a good game for Rangers. Provan. Wilson to Brand is inside forward. Free kick. Baxter, Wilson. Left back Provan. So Wilson likes it. Corner, yes. Two minutes to half-time, no scoring. Wilson taking this corner kick. And it's a goal! And Forrest has scored! Well, it's just the right time to score. Here's right back Young taking this free kick. Well, Rangers have beaten Celtic 4 times already this season. Gregg on to Forrest. Henderson of Rangers. And a goal! Goal by Henderson. Look at the wee fella. Well, that's one right out of the bag. Well, if he does that to Celtic end, they'll sure get a reception.
Not a lot of people will know that when Jim was going through harder times, they had a testimonial dinner, and you, in an unbelievable gesture for my money, donated your last of your 9-in-a-row championship medals for Jim Baxter. What made you do that?
You know, I liked the fella. I've always liked him, and he was a great pal. Didn't see each other as much latterly, but when we did see each other, I always really enjoyed the occasion, and I just felt I wanted to make a gesture, and I wanted to make it something that was worthwhile. And it was a great night, as it so happened. Obviously, predominantly were the followers of the House of Satan, but you know, they gave me a great reception, and I really did enjoy the night, I've got to be honest with you.
In 1963-64, Rangers were all-conquering. They beat Celtic in every game. They won the League Cup and the Championship. Only the Scottish Cup stood between them and a remarkable treble.
Baxter. Nice play by Baxter, gives Wilson an opening in the clear. Wilson into the centre. Ryden, good kick, stopped by Brand, who's working hard for Rangers. McLean, back to Brand. Left half Stewart's there. Out to Henderson. Henderson into Brand. Brand in good position for a shot. Blocked by Seath. Goes back to Baxter. Flicks it through towards Brand. Ryden misses his kick and Miller's there. 6 inches past the post. Throw in now to Rangers with exactly half an hour played here at Hampden. Extremely engrossing contest so far. Throw in. Baxter back towards McLean. Just in play. Baxter coolly flicking the ball in towards McLean. McLean gets it to his left foot, turns it across to Baxter. A great chance here for Baxter to score. Stopped by Slater. Again Slater miraculously falls on it. No wonder Brand applauds. Robertson with the kick. 6 minutes played in the second half. Here it comes. Bends out the way. It's a pull and McLean misses his kick. No one there to profit as Wilson steps in. Wilson down in towards the wind. 10, 15, 20, 25 yards he runs and finds Miller. Hamilton shakes for a tackle as Miller gets the ball right on the touchline. Hamilton flicks it away. Miller runs quickly to get it. Baxter coming up to collect the throw. Baxter to Miller. Wilson placed nicely at the edge of the box. Miller going for the line. It could be a dangerous cutback. Wilson's beautifully placed out in front. Comes to Henderson, a great chance for Henderson here. Wyden, Henderson, what a chance for Henderson. He lines up, drives it in, Slater again, a fabulous save. McLean, a very fine pass to Miller. Wyden, a good tackle. Corner kick. Henderson, over it comes. Miller heads it in. It's a goal! Miller has scored for Rangers. The Dundee defence flat-footed. The ball headed in very simply. And it's one of the most unexpected and dramatic goals we've ever seen. Waiting rolls of it. Used Dundee at the other end. What a chance here. The umpire drives it in. It's a goal! Scores for Dundee. What a game, what a final, what a match. About 90 seconds to go, the free kick to Rangers. Henderson at outside left, collects it from Baxter. Henderson inside the box, chips it to the far post. Miller's there. And the ball's in the net. Miller scores in the last minute for Rangers. Inside the last minute now. Dundee have done it once. Can they do it a second time? Cousin shoves it forward. Comes through to Gregg. Henderson. Brand. Henderson again. Through to Brand. Wilson coming through as the extra forward. Left foot shot. A great save by Slater. Brand must score. 3-1. 2 goals in the last 60 seconds. Hampden aflame with excitement.
Jim will forever be remembered as a great Rangers player, but more than this, he was a magnificent servant for Scotland. He loved to play England, especially at Wembley, which became Jim Baxter's showcase. For the supporters, the memorable games are 1963 and 1967. Jim has no doubt which was his finest. Baxter's Wembley, is it 63 or is it 67?
63 for me. It was definitely my show that time. Because I won a tackle to score the first goal. How did I ever win any tackles?
The match got off to a dramatic start. Captain Eric Caldow broke his leg early in the game, and as there were no substitutes, Scotland had to rearrange their tactics. Jim was to dominate the match.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He took command of the match. Poor Eric broke his leg, and rather than make enforced changes, I went to left back, and Jimmy was playing in front of me. The game was easy.
And, you know, in reflection, people talk about the game after the 66, 67 game, but that for me was probably one of the best performances ever by a Scottish team. To go to Wembley, play with 10 men, and beat them. It was fantastic. And Baxter, on that day, was just fantastic, you know.
Baxter working hard in this game for Scotland. St John in the centre, this could be dangerous. There goes the pass. If Henderson could reach it, it could be dangerous also. Henderson now with Law on the right, backing up. Pointing into the centre. Henderson needs to beat his man, which he does. Henderson gets it across. St John, nobody there. Almost a chance for Baxter, but I think he just felt he couldn't reach it, but he does get possession. It could still be dangerous. Baxter for Scotland. There's a goal! 29 minutes gone and 30,000 Scots go mad. Left half Baxter got 2 chances at it. Magnificent left foot crasher into the back of the net. England nothing, Scotland 1. Henderson has it now. Henderson coming through. Cuts in field inside the box. Down he comes, a penalty! Penalty to Scotland.
Baxter scores 2 goals. We get a penalty kick, and of course, well, give it here, I'll take it, you know. And everybody's going, well, I don't want to take it, you know. Jim, put it down, stick it in, Banksy and go, touch for that. And it went.
What a glorious chance this could be for Scotland. Chance of a lifetime for Jim Baxter. Here he comes. It's there!
I've never taken a penalty in my life before. I've never taken a penalty in my life. And Dave Mackay, with Cowdy being injured.
Because he usually took the penalties.
Cowdy took the penalties, but him being injured, he says that there's only one man for it. But he's good thinking away. He says, yourself, he says, you've just scored a goal, you might, and I know you're a cocky bugger anyway, you must be right, you must be ready for it. I said, that's right. He says, well, stick it in for me. You know how Davey goes. Stick it in for me.
Hardly surprisingly, Jim wanted to score an unlikely hat-trick at Wembley, but as usual he had an unorthodox plan.
I said, see, if we're winning 2 goals, say we're 2 goals up, and we're about two or 3 minutes to go, I'm going to stick it through my own net. That'll be a hat-trick. I say, they're not them know what to do. I'll be chaotic. And I'll be, what? I say, I'm going to stick it through your legs, or I'm going to beat you and score a goal through your own legs. You're kidding me, and I says, no, I'm telling you. I'll be, what? Wait a minute. Now, I'd have done that trick. That'd have been brilliant.
In 1967, England had just won the World Cup, but James was not impressed. He knew they could be beaten, making Scotland the unofficial champions of the world.
We were no hopers going down there. But once you get into Jimmy Baxter's company, you realise we've got a chance here. The man was just so arrogant, and so he felt nobody could beat us. And even before the game, it was a strange coincidence. The both teams were at the same picture hall. And we come out afterwards, there was a bit of mingling and bobbing around on some of the guys were talking to Jimmy. They didn't know the likes of guys like myself. And he came away after that, went to the buses saying, oh, they're absolutely panicking, they're really dead frightened about the game tomorrow, lads. We'll go and give them a doing, they've not got a problem. He was just so cocky and he made everybody feel really good. And you really felt, we'll go out and do this team today, because Jim Baxter's in the team.
Baxter may have difficulty now. Finds Greg. McCready. McCalliog. Lennox. Scotland moving forward. Watch out for Lennox's shot.
And I say, Ross, come on, let's extract the urine, but I didn't say that, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
Right, so I say, let's extract the urine. We're never going to get a better chance than really extracting the urine. Let's take it right out of them. So then I say, never mind that, extracting the urine. Let's hammer them as much. Let's get a few goals in here. So I says to wee Billy, because I knew wee Billy was up for it, taking the mickey, you know. So I say, put your hands up if you want to extract the urine. So wee Billy, oh, I'm off for that, big man. I say, that'll do for me, that's 2 anyway. I say, anybody for this extracting the old urine? And there wasn't a sort of word in there. I says, come on, sure there's more bottle than that in the Scottish team. The big boys say, but you better put me in for that big time gamble.
Now, big Jim Baxter of Sunderland setting Bremner through. Bremner still there with it. Now Law. McCready calling for it. McCready gets it. Charlton under this one. Oh, McCalliog and now Lennox. Gemmell coming in. This looks dangerous for Scotland again. Virtually short of getting his head to Gemmell's cross ball. McCalliog over there to take the corner for Scotland. Baxter.
He just couldn't wait to get them. And a lot of people still say to this day, why did you know when you got the opportunity to go in and hammer England that day 5 or 6, 7 goals? Jim didn't bother about that. Jim just got personal satisfaction that he'd taken the mick out of them. I mean, that was probably the biggest 3-2 hammering that any team ever got in its career.
Ready with the free kick to Baxter. This is number 6, Jim Baxter. And a chance here for Law has scored. Dennis Law. There he is, a fair-haired Manchester United player. This is Baxter now for Scotland, slowing the game down. McCalliog again, Baxter. England just don't seem to be able to take this ball away from Scotland. Brady, this is Bremner. As they tease and taunt England. England, the world champions, being taunted by Scotland. So, now it's Tommy Gemmell for Scotland. Moore gets his head in the way and Gemmell has it again. And a chance here for John Gregg. Baxter. Billy Bremner. Finding Lennox. Bremner. And Baxter again. Baxter has come in and out of this game, always been dangerous. Tommy Gemmell. Scotland slowing it down. Taking the mickey out of this England side.
When you had a guy like Jimmy doing that, it helped us, because he was playing against world-class players there and treating them as if it was a practice match. So it's bound to rub off on the rest of us. And somebody as skillful as myself, it helped me as well.
Bremner sending Scotland forward again. The minutes ticking away of this game. Lennox, number 11. Jim McCalliog. Oh, McCalliog! There is number 9, Jimmy McCalliog scores!
Scotland humiliated the world champions in their home ground, but for the fans there will always be one moment that assured Baxter of a very special place in their hearts.
I think the keeper up was fantastic. If you ask all the players, they'll tell you keep happy.
Now Baxter. Law.
This display of arrogance epitomised Jim Baxter and probably Scottish football. When they write its final chapter, this may be its most enduring memory. Many say that this was his finest hour, and the party that followed was just one of many that made Jim a legend off the park with his playboy lifestyle.
Well, I loved the drink, you see. I loved the drink. I loved the good drink, I did. I'd make a million changes. I would. I would do a lot of things differently, completely differently.
Like what?
Oh, I'd change. I would change my lifestyle for a start. I would be a bit more. I wouldn't say dedicated, be the word, because I think you must have a laugh. You must have laughs in this game. See now, if you laugh more than 3 times, I think it's 3. You get ordered off. You know what I mean? I don't like getting ordered off.
Jim left Rangers in 1965 for Sunderland, to the despair of many supporters who saw him as a genius. He then moved to Nottingham Forest and still proved that he could run the show.
I remember playing a game, Liverpool against Forest, up at Anfield, and Baxter really played us on his own that day. And, you know, he was getting towards the end of his career, not as fit as probably could have been, or should have been, but he still ran the show for them, and I'll remember that fixture because of that, and he was terrific.
He returned to Rangers in 1969, but he knew that his best times were behind him, and at the age of 30 he retired from football. Jim Baxter always was a big-time player. Only 10 days before his death, he was determined to give one final interview in which he was philosophical about his condition. Do you ever have any regrets about what's happened?
Well, naturally, I regret what's happening now. I mean, I'm going to snuff it. But
Jim, you're handling that with your old bravado. I mean,
well, see, there again is there's nothing brave about it, Chick. I keep saying that to people. There is nothing brave about what I'm doing. There's just something. I've got a bad illness. I'm sure other guys the same as me. But hundreds of guys, thousands of them, we've got the same business, same trouble, and they're handling it the same as me, but Jim Baxter's Jim Baxter, and he's getting he's brave, and he's this and he's that, but not any braver than anybody else.
After the breakup of his marriage, he met Norma, the woman who has stuck with him through his wild days, his liver transplants, and his battle with cancer.
If I'd have met Norma, 30 years ago, I would have been a millionaire. Norma is very, very strong-minded, very intelligent, you know what I mean?
Jim will always be a Rangers legend. In 1999, the supporters voted for the greatest team of all time. When it came to the number 6 position, there was no doubt who would win.
Thousands upon thousands of Rangers fans from Govan to Guatemala voted for the greatest ever team. And just about everyone went for the same player to wear the number 6 jersey. 254 appearances and 24 goals, 3 league championships, 3 Scottish Cups and 4 League Cups. The number 6 jersey in the greatest Rangers team goes to Slim Jim Baxter.
And there's one thing that I'd say about Jim. Jim has stood by Rangers Football Club through thick and thin. Good times, bad times. I have never ever heard Jim Baxter publicly criticising Rangers Football Club. And I admire him for that, and he's stuck to that principle.
Jimmy loved the Rangers. When he was on that park, he was Jimmy Baxter, the best player in the world. Not Britain, the world. And he showed it.
Every football fan will echo those thoughts. The phrase wayward genius may partly describe him, but for thousands of supporters there was no one who came close to Baxter. His memory will live as long as the game is played.
I've had a great party, I really have.
And when you go, you'll still go with a smile on your face?
Well, I certainly will. I certainly will go with a smile on my face. It would be no moping with me boy, I'll tell you. And that isn't bravery, that is just plain fact. I want it just to be, let's face it, he was a bad at times, but he's a good guy. That's what I like to be around as, a good guy.
Almost a chance for Baxter, but I think he just felt he couldn't reach it, but he does get possession. It could still be dangerous. Baxter for Scotland. Here's a goal! What a glorious chance this could be for Scotland. Chance of a lifetime for Jim Baxter. Here he comes. It's there!